Hello. It is the 2-year anniversary of my doctor forcing me into tolerance withdrawal with an undiscussed 50% reduction of my Xanax script. Since then, I have been making videos to cope, but these videos actually started after an incident 2 days after Christmas of 2017, before the reduction, when I was fully medicated. The incident in question involved my sister. It was the first time she heard me cry in 29 years, and it created a schism. It wasn't the last time we talked, but it created a schism between us, which means that I don't know if it's repairable, but to me it felt like a betrayal and was a shattering of my psyche, and that is why I turned to YouTube and making videos, is because I was completely lost at that point. I was just flailing about like a man drowning in water. It fractured my psyche to a large degree. And so I began taking more Xanax as a way of coping with that, and I wasn't getting any psychiatric help at the time. And I went to my doctor when I ran out, and he decided to give me more Xanax as a solution. And I upped the ante on that as well. And by January of 2018, I was in a psychiatric unit because I had the choice of going through withdrawal or going to a cold turkey withdrawal or a psychiatric unit, and not any sane person would take a psychiatric unit. So after I come out of there, I go into cold turkey for 2 days because of a screw up on my script with my lovely doctor, the one who surprised me with the 50% reduction and the tolerance withdrawal in the first place. So you will not see my face for a while because I am going to use a different program to read what hopefully is a concise outline of the next 2 years of my time in some sort of bizarre purgatorial hell. March 16th, 2018. Script cut in half. Caught flu type B on the same day. Already ignorantly experimented with half doses. Extra couple pills, so withdrawal symptoms did not begin in earnest until March 18th of 2018, which would be 2 years ago. 50% reduction is never recommended with Xanax tapering. April of 2018. We have a new secretive tenant. A few drug sales already noted out front of this 4-unit gigantic house that was turned into an apartment complex. The landlord informed, but he is indifferent. Necrotic tooth pulled by oral surgeon mid-month. Had to updose, which created a kindling effect. May 2018. Increased foot traffic. More drug sales witnessed out front. I still think it's the landlord's responsibility for criminal activity on their property, which is not the law. The landlord never tells me to call the police. Regardless, occasional police begin to show up. And they begin to show up in increasing numbers. June of 2018. I have hope, though my hope is false hope, and it's based on small illegal purchases of Valium. There is a heavy police presence here now. I know there is a drug trade here, though I think it's heroin. I see a cop, he's coming here. I just know when I see a cop that he's going to be coming here. It doesn't matter, because something crazy is going on here. There's still a constant parade of different people. July 2018. All hell breaks loose. The secretive tenant ends up in jail, and hands off keys to meth scum. Cookhouse forms across the street, but I don't know how long it's been running. It may have been running, it may have formed 2 months prior. It's raided and shut down on the 6th of July. Get landlord to evict after constant nagging. A meth squatter situation develops. I begin calling the police myself, and then I have to call the police on myself for brandishing a machete at the squatters. Death threats are made on me, the first of several, from the squatters, who sleep mere yards from me because this is just a 4-unit house. August of 2018. The squatter tension and meth use continues. Switch to sleeping in the day like the squatters. A few ugly encounters, but mostly a Cold War. I'm prisoner in house until the 31st, which is eviction day. Before the squatters are even gone, a crackhead I name Stampy moves in, rattles walls, knocks books off windowsills. By mid-October, I am a prisoner in my bedroom. Landlord likes subsidized Stampy money. It's much more dependable, I guess, than meth money. September of 2018. Stampy continues crack-enhanced Jurassic Park impact tremors, but has diseased legs, so there's nothing that can be done. Then, one of my most trusted people in the city nearly dies, becoming seriously ill. Looks like they won't make it. Tell my doctor about all the foregoing, so he naturally doubles my dope, Xanax, even while knowing I want to quit. I take the script, fearing being cut off. October of 2018. Am trapped in my bedroom. My friend is dying. Horrible summer I just had. I have extra pills and miserable health. Huge relapse and dose increase. The sister of an alcoholic Afghani war vet takes former meth den. Immediately hates it here. November of 2018. I accept my prison cell situation. My bad knee that I've had for years worsens, but I am determined to taper. December of 2018. I finally find the right guy to taper who prescribes me Valium. Therefore, I no longer have to just buy it illegally, and I could never get it in quantity illegally anyway. This is on the 3rd of December in 2018. Unfortunately, I had a AFib and cardio version on the 5th. January of 2019. I began a 4-month fruitless quest to get knee operation on Baker cyst so I can walk outside. And free myself from Stampy and my bedroom prison. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me even without withdrawal symptoms. Continue to try to get my doctor to greenlight a mobility scooter, since I can barely walk. Also to escape the iron grip of Stampy's talons. This also proves fruitless. February 2019. It all just keeps going, just more of the same. March 2019. Hell month. The second cousin moves in with the sister that moved into the meth den, who is a violent Afghani war vet with PTSD and a heavy pot smoker and an alcoholic. I avoid him at first, due to reputation. Only other family I have in the area creates problems for me. My dying friend, though, survives. Horrible infected testicle incident. Failed attempt to drain cyst in knee, where I had a procedure laying on a table at Altman Hospital. And it just makes it worse. Can barely walk. I have to use a cane or walker at all times. Stampy now has 6 to 8 people, including 2 kids living above me, in a 1-bedroom apartment. Crackheads and homeless, etc. April 2019. The last month of me trying to quit here. That's what I thought at the time. Forced to meet PTSD guy. So high and insane and had no electricity since throwing his sister out. He claimed he went without electricity for 2.5 months. Candles and staggering drunks do not mix. He openly smokes bongs on the porch in the morning. Jailed for 10 days. War vet threatens me constantly, though I am not afraid of him much, because I'm much bigger and experienced. He starts me smoking cigarettes again, leading to another AFib and cardioversion event on September 13th of 2019. I spend the summer around him, befriend him foolishly. The fact that he had tobacco helped. He loses his job, so naturally the landlord signs him to a year lease. He is now here for a full year, and he will be here for another 6 months at the time of me reading this. Overloaded apartment upstairs gives me roaches. Still have them. May 2019. End up with roaches and bed bugs in May. Bed bugs come either from my own family or a roach motel upstairs. At this point, I decided there is no tapering in this building. Part 2 upcoming. So this would be part 2. I had that part written down, so already. We left off in the summer of, or it would be last summer, the summer of 2019, where I spent a great deal of time around the Afghani alcoholic war vet, and played a lot of cards with him, and watched him abuse himself, throw tables into the yard, have various rage fits, and he threatened me on several occasions. It was just a crazy summer, and the main thing is, though, that I was smoking. I'm not supposed to be smoking. So my summer culminated with the September 13th incident of me going to the hospital and getting cardioverted. And I already had teeth problems at the time, and I was aware of it. In October, between October and November, within a 30-day span, I had 6 teeth extracted, 5 of them on the same day. Now, the 5 of them on the same day was October 30th. The next day, I hear water dripping in my ceiling. I foolishly contact the guy in the wheelchair next door per his request. He wanted to know if there was water dripping in my apartment. Me, being a naive and innocent fool, tell him that. He goes behind my back and tells the landlord. The landlord sets up an appointment. At that time, I have nobody helping me, so I have to rearrange my bedroom and move a bunch of stuff to prepare the place, prepare this area over here for the plumber, which tires me out. It also happens to be very cold out. This is November 8th now. In northern Ohio. So I set up a metal heater that's an oil-filled radiator shape type heater, and I mangle my toes, breaking 2 of them severely because I'm exhausted and it turns out to be really nothing. I'm trying to keep this a bare bones outline, so, suffice to say, they didn't even have to replace their bathtub. All they did was caulk it up a little bit and put a little bit of silicone sealant on this crack. That was the drip. But I got 2 broken toes, which hurt me to this day on November 8th. And that takes me to December of 2019. December of 2019, right around the 5th of the month, I get sick. And I stay sick until right before Christmas. During that time, I realized that I had already given up tapering here, but I realized that I seem to be taking less volume than 3 a day. 3 10 milligram tablets a day. I seem to have extra volume. So I just went with it and I began to taper. And I tapered into through January into February until I got down to 12.5. But I only stayed at 12.5 for 9 days, and then at the beginning of February I dropped it to 10 after 9 days, which proved a very fatal mistake, because not only did it plunge me into misery and ruin the whole month of February for me, but I am back up from 12.5 to, instead of successfully lowering to 10 milligrams a day, I am now taking 15 milligrams a day. So, I understand I can't cover everything that's happened here or what it's like to live here. So, just stick to the fact that I have been trying to move. I have more or less been a prisoner in this bedroom of mine due to the noise in the building and my own nerves and my own battle with benzodiazepines. So I'm self-quarantined in this bedroom now for 18 months. And I finally have enough money saved up to move. And I have someone to help me, since I am, because of the preceding 2 years of misery and the psychological damage done to me by family members, some of which I left out. I left out the whole boat thing and losing my foster brother and any contact with any family in the neighborhood. That happened during the summer. That was actually a very important part of it, but I just left it out because I'm trying to do this quickly. But these are people that I've known my whole life that are just gone now. So, anyway, so 18 months in quarantine, and now the coronavirus hits my state, and I have enough money to move, but I am considered one of the people that is a high-risk candidate to die from it if I catch it. I'm still moving. I mean, regardless, take my chances. But that was perhaps too brief, but I wanted to be brief. All that stuff is outlined in videos with a bunch of yada 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 and stories, and me trying to be amusing and clever and playing with words. But that is really why I started being a very small YouTube presence, is because it was just a coping mechanism. It was just a place to turn. I didn't have anybody else at the time but myself, so I needed an outlet. So that's the purpose of my videos, is an outlet, because I have very limited emotional support at best, we'll put it that way. But anyways, I'm sure I left plenty of stuff out. Somehow I even forgot the boat thing and the loss of See, I moved into Maslin in order to be near this family, but this family does nothing but take my money and cause me grief and emotional stress. So I wrote them off. I wrote my foster brother off, and over the aforementioned boat incident where he ruined my boat and did not uh, re- offer me one dime worth of recompense or even an acknowledgement that he ruined my boat. So, anyways, so yeah, so now I'm at 15 milligrams. As far as how I feel right now, I do not feel good, but I'm not worried about it being the coronavirus because um, I have no contact. I'm isolated. I'm quarantined. The only contact that I had, there was one case in Stark County at the time, and the only contact I've had with any human being since then was my aid worker, and just once. So I just feel sick. But anyways, that's sort of an outline. I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be shitty, but I felt like at a 2 year anniversary of struggling with trying trying to get off of benzos, that it's a milestone. It should be marked somehow. So, anyways, so I am making this on the 16th, and I'll put it up on the 18th. In the meantime, you will be stuck with me for a couple more days before then, before I put this up. So be careful. Take care of yourselves. God bless or good fortune, whichever you prefer. Goodbye. I prefer both myself. And this is how bad the last 2 years have been. I forgot to mention the fact that I got sprayed in the face with insecticide by the landlord's exterminator, and then cursed my landlord and chased him out of the building. Somehow that got lost in the shuffle. But it is a perfect example of, you know, how fun the last couple of years have been. That slipped my mind. Getting sprayed in the face with poison and then physically chasing your landlord out of the building.